Hi, and welcome back. Today, I am tackling this kitchen. I have so many zucchinis and squashes that I need to preserve. Now, I'm not getting fancy with this at all. 12 zucchini, 12 squash. Now, this year I grew these little patty pan squashes, and I love them. I will grow these from now on. I also did a few plants of these just crooked neck yellow squashes. I mean, I have gotten dozens of these patty pans to like 3 of these. Exact same time, exact same spot, soil conditions, everything. And these just grow so much better. And they taste good, they're great on the grill, they're easy to preserve, all of that. So I'm not saying I won't have these in the garden from now on, but these are definitely gonna make their way back. I've already got seeds in the shopping cart for these because I'm about out this year. And then I just did like a Ford hook zucchini from Baker Creek. Now this is the size I like to pick my zucchinis when I'm eating them like on the grill. So I think I'm gonna hold this one back. But some of these got really big. All it takes is a day or two of missing them and you've got giant zucchinis. That's okay. We can still use them. I will still preserve them. It's all right. They're just not as tender as they are when they're about this size. So for baking and sauteing and putting them in things, these work just fine. So I am going to show you what I'm going to do to preserve these guys. Also, before I forget, I need to take care of these dehydrator trays of herbs that I had done a few days ago. So I'm going to get them blended up and in their, I'm going to get them blended up and in their jars so I can refill my dehydrator. One of my goals this year was to keep that dehydrator consistently running. And I think I've done a pretty good job. I think it drives my husband crazy because the noise of it, and he walks in, he's like, what is that smell? Because you can smell the different herbs. But I really wanted to make sure I put up a lot of herbs because I really like to use them when I'm cooking, and knowing that tomato season's just around the corner, I wanted to make sure I had enough things on hand to be ready for that. This is oregano. You know, dehydrating herbs is one of the easiest things you can do. And you can start doing that no matter where you live, whether it's in an apartment on 40 acres like we are. But herbs can be grown in pots, and then you just get a dehydrator. It doesn't have to be an expensive one. And you could be growing and dehydrating your own herbs. That is a great place to start if you are looking into really diving into growing your own food. I have only 3 oregano plants in my garden, and I can say I am not consistent about picking it. I may go out and grab a few sprigs, which is enough to fill one of my trays. And so far I have almost a whole quart of oregano. And I probably won't use much of this all year because oregano is extremely strong and a little bit goes a long way. But that's just one example. Grow some herbs, put them in some pots on your porch, on your windowsill, and start dehydrating them. For things like oregano, I've done a whole video on this. I'll link it down below. You don't even need a dehydrator. You can just bunch them up like a bouquet and hang them from, you know, a place in your house that isn't damp, and you've got oregano. So easy. One thing I grew this year that I really liked is tarragon, which that's the one my husband's like, what is that smell? Make a mess today. That's okay, it'll clean. Tarragon smells a lot like black licorice, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. I saw it at the nursery at the beginning of the season, and I thought, wow, I don't have that one. I should grow it. So it is growing great here in Zone 6B, and it is turning into being a really pretty herb, but I mean, it does. It smells just like black licorice, and I don't really like black licorice, so I'm sure I'll find a use for it, and I'll be glad I have it. If anything, maybe I have a friend or family member out there that likes it, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and keep preserving it because you just never know.
Is that a smoothie?
Nope, not a smoothie. All right, I told you this was gonna be a big kitchen day. Next, I think I'm gonna tackle these leeks that have been in the fridge. I actually have a whole section in the garden that really need to be harvested. But I think for now, because I haven't really decided, I'm just gonna chop these and freeze them on a tray and then throw them in a bag, and I'll just use them to cook with. I grew leeks with the intent of, I started these seeds back in January. I will always have leeks in the garden, if not for anything else, pest control, because all of my kale planted by the leeks has very minimal bug damage. The kale on the end of the road, not near, on the end of the row, not near the leeks, has quite a bit of bug damage. And I had read that that is a thing, but I got to witness it firsthand. So leeks will always be in the garden. I like the flavor of leeks. I feel like they're a cross between onion and garlic in their flavor, so they're really good. Potato and leek soup, I don't know. I don't know much about them. Again, I started these with the intent for the market, something that somebody was not growing here, and I thought that it would be a good thing to have, but as you all know, if you don't know, we aren't doing market. Last year we did the market, this year we're not. We are now pastoring the church. So that obviously, pastoring, homeschooling, homesteading life took precedence over the market. So that's okay. I've actually come to really love the garden this year. I see it in a whole new way and enjoy it in a whole new way. I just peeled like the outer layer off of it, and I'm just gonna chop these up, I think, and just stick them in a freezer bag. I'd rather do that than have them go bad in my refrigerator. But if you have any leek ideas or seen any leek videos, comment them down below, because I would like to know how to get the most out of this, these leeks. And holy moly, those will make your eyes burn, just like that. Also, oh my gosh, those leeks got me crying. Yeah, my eyes are like all puffed out. It's gardening's not for the faint of heart, right? Another thing I'm doing is getting the garlic finished up for storage and figuring out how much I'm gonna hold back for seed next year, picking the right bulbs for that. Here, I planted 4 pounds of my bigger bulbs, and I think I'm gonna stick with 4 pounds this year. And then I also did a pound of like a smaller bulb, and it was just kind of like a random bag. It's not big, but I'm not even gonna mess with those. I'm just gonna go for the bigger bulbs of garlic and just do 4 pounds of those, because I think that's gonna be more than enough to meet our garlic needs. So I'm just going through and cleaning the dirt off of them, trying not to take off too many layers of the papery layer. And when they're kind of broken up like this, this will go into the used first box and or the giveaway basket that I've got. Here is all of our perfect garlic. And then the perfect garlic that I'm going to keep and use for long-term storage is going to get, I'm going to kind of weave them so that way I can store them and hang them here in the house and have them pretty readily available. But some of them just are dirty. Now, my husband came in, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, cleaning this garlic. He's like, you do know that when it's green still and wet, like when you first pull it, you can just like pull the bottom leaves down and it'll pull the outer shells out and it turns out super clean, right? And I was like, no, I did not know that. So here I am doing it the hard way and cleaning my garlic by hand like this. So lesson learned. I won't be doing this again next year, but it's okay. This is actually kind of therapeutic in an odd way. You can like sit here and think. This garlic cured for 2 weeks in, I had it in like our little area where we park our ATVs, and then we've got slammed with a lot of rain, and I found that it was kind of just getting damp in there, so I moved them into our shed. So they cured for 2 weeks and everything is dry, and I'm gonna have these now for the year to pull from, so that's pretty cool. I'm really excited that I had a good successful garlic season. Now I won't dehydrate any of this. That one's wrong. I don't have a place to keep a dehydrator to dehydrate them, and it will get so, the smell will just be too strong. So this will be for cooking fresh with. All right, now for the zucchini. Not getting super creative with this. I am tempted to make a relish out of it, but I'm not quite convinced we would really eat it. I actually just saw somebody make like a copycat version of canned pineapples, but they use zucchini, and then you can use it in place of anything that would require pineapples, canned pineapples in a dish. Also not so sure how I feel about that. So I'm gonna go with what I know and what works well for us. First, I chopped up all of the zucchini, and this is about 4 zucchinis. 2 of them were on the really large side. And I've got my meat grinder attachment hooked up to my mixer, because I have found if I do this by hand with like a cheese shredder, oh my gosh, it'll wear you out. This is definitely the easiest way I have found to do this. So I'm gonna load it up. So all of that zucchini is shredded, and I've got it just sitting on this bowl, and all this juice will collect, and I will use that in other ways. You can use this for broths, cooking rice in. I'm putting it in my smoothie because it has no taste, but I can't let it go to waste. So this is just gonna drain, and then I will show you how I'm gonna freeze them so that they're easy to grab and use. I have 3 other ones. They're pretty big. I think I'm gonna go ahead and shred these as well. I'm just afraid if I don't do it, it's not gonna get done, and then I'm gonna regret it. I let this sit for a few hours. If you have time, I would suggest letting it sit overnight in the fridge. So next I'm just gonna lay these out in little 1 cup increments, kind of like a disc, and I'll let these sit in the freezer for a little while, and then I will add them to a freezer bag where I can easily pull them out and use them whenever I need them. That's as far as I'm going to get today. So we are actually headed off to town. They are doing a barbecue competition, so we're gonna go check that out. And then we have a youth event with our young people. So I am done in the kitchen for the day. I hope you found something in this video that you can take away and try yourself. But in the meantime, may the Lord bless and keep you until the next video.